warm welcome to all. Today we have Professor Siddharth Bhaskar with us, who will be presenting his paper Panel Data Analysis of Suicides Due to Mental Illness in India, 2001-2009. Siddharth is an assistant professor of economics at Jindal Global Business School, and he has completed his bachelor's and master's in science from IIT Kharagpur and his PhD from IIM Ahmedabad. He has worked on a project under David and Lucille Fellowship at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and he has also experience in working in areas like climate change and game theory in addition to mental health. He has papers published in Review of Scientific Instruments and Global Business Review, and he has also published articles regularly on Curious. So our plan for today is that Siddharth will first finish his talk, and then we will open the floor for questioning. So without further ado, let me welcome Siddharth to commence his talk.
So today I'm going to present on the topic of panel data analysis of suicides due to mental illness in India during 2001 and 09. So before I start, I'll just give a small introduction to this paper. So, we recently had the World Mental Health Day, and in today's world, mental health is a very talked about topic. And one of the fallouts of bad mental health is suicides. And, globally as well as in India, the number of suicides because of mental ill health has been rising, and it's at a high. And a number of studies have been done in developed countries to understand the factors that affect suicides, the macroeconomic factors that affect suicides in those countries. But some studies have been done in India also, but no empirical study, as far as my knowledge goes, has been done in India to understand the macroeconomic effects on suicide. So my work is an effort to add to the literature of the factors that affect suicides due to mental illness. So I would like to clarify that suicides happen because of different factors, but the paper focuses on suicides due to mental illness. We can see that India has one of the highest suicide rates in the world, which around 20% of global suicides happening in the country. The suicide 20% of global suicides happen in the country. So even though the proportion of mentally ill people in India is not that high, but the number of suicides in India are very high. Now, suicide was a criminal activity a few years back in India, but the Mental Health Care Act, which was a very important act in the field of mental health care, which brought many new structures to how mental health care should be dealt in the country, has decriminalized suicides in India. More than 1 lakh lives are lost due to suicides in India, and mental illness is one of the leading causes of suicide. So we have discussed this. So globally, the observed value of suicide for mental illness is much higher than expected. So the observed number of people mentally ill people who commit suicide is actually much higher than expected. And in India, when we come to India level, then the National Crime Records Bureau publishes the data on suicides in India. So it's a very detailed data published for each state and union territory, and it's also categorized into different into different classifications. So we have data for each state. We also have data for different reasons of suicide. For example, it could be divorce, it could be cancer, it could be mental illness, it could be marital problems, alcoholism, and things like that. So yeah. So just to give a view of the suicide rate in different states in India, because this paper focuses on states, suicide rate in states as a dependent variable. So a brief idea about the suicide rate in states, you can see from it is given from the year 2001 to 2009. And the data is a bit surprising, because generally what we would guess is that poorer states like Bihar and Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh would have a high rate of suicide, but the data speaks quite opposite. And the richer states like Goa, Kerala, and also Sikkim have very high rate of suicides in India as compared to the poorer states. Now, this may happen. You can see the higher spikes in the richer states of India, and this might happen because of many reasons. One reason could be underreporting in the poorer states. That is one reason which is given in literature as a reason for higher rates of suicides in these in these developed states. But there are other reasons also given in literature. Some of the reasons given are high literacy rate, lower external aggression, high socioeconomic status, and higher expectations. Now, some of these reasons come from, for example, if we talk about high literacy rate, we see that many of these states have an unemployment problem. People are literate, but they don't have jobs. Now, this can lead to depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation. So this is the reason given in literature. When we say external aggression, we mean the ability to express one's anger and one's frustration, which is lower in these states. And these states also have a high socioeconomic status and higher expectations, which could lead to a high rate of suicides in these states. Now, we will look at some of the independent variables in the study, which are the factors that affect suicide. So as I said, this study basically looks at the different factors that affect suicide and the macroeconomic factors, and whether they are significant or not with respect to suicides in India. So the first factor which is given in literature is GSDP per capita, or basically the income. So GSDP per capita stands for the income here. So income is one factor which is held responsible for affecting suicides in the world. So the thing with income in literature is that there are two kinds of models which are discussed in literature. One is the economic model, other is a sociological model, and both of them have different both of them show different outcomes. So when we talk of the economic model, it says that higher incomes will lead to lesser suicide. So what it says is that if the incomes are higher, if the future incomes are also higher, if the expected incomes are also higher, and the present income is higher, then the present value of lifetime utility of earning income would be high, leading to lesser suicide rates. So this is a famous paper by Harmesh and Shosh in 1974, which sort of looked at the overall utility or lifetime utility of earning a higher income and compared it to the costs of committing suicide, and said that as the incomes are higher, the utility of earning will exceed the cost of committing suicide and people will commit less suicide. So this is the economic model, and it also makes sense in Indian sense because we know that in India there are many farmer suicides in India in different states, and it is said in literature that a lot of these suicides is because of debt. The farmers are into deep debts and they are unable to pay the debt. So higher incomes within the farmers can lead to lesser suicides because that can make them debt free. So there is a study by Kennedy and King in 2014 that talks about how farmer suicides are happen because of indebtedness, and there have been other studies as well which have shown a negative correlation of income with suicides, which have been done in USA by Yang, in Taiwan by Chuang and Huang, and in Turkey by Alpha and Ferda in 2009. So there have been studies proving the economic model of suicides. There is a second model given, which is based on the paper by Durkheim, and I think it should be 1897. It is wrongly written in 1997. It's a very famous paper which came much earlier, and it gives us the sociological model of suicides. And Durkheim says that as the income levels of the country or the state increases, there is lower social cohesion and hence higher suicide rates. So the social cohesion, the social capital that binds people together, that is loosened, and people become more lonely, and that is why this leads to higher suicide rates. So Durkheim is saying that higher income levels lead to higher suicide rates, and theoretically, we can say that unemployment or employment provides a source of income as well as a source of security for families. And a regular stream of income and employee benefits are essential for family to survive. So every family needs a regular stream of income and employee benefits to survive in the society. Now, the problem is that with mentally ill people, there is a lot of stigma in the workplace nowadays, and a good deal of stigma in the society. So many mentally ill people do not find regular jobs, or they lose their jobs once they get mentally ill. And this can lead to greater anxiety, especially if they are male members. Also in female it happens, but male mentally ill people can get into depression and have suicidal ideation. Now there is a third factor which can affect suicides. Now this factor is not directly mentioned in literature. So this is a factor which has come out of theory, which I feel that it's an important factor, which is the quality of psychiatric facilities in a state. Because what happens is that when a person gets mentally ill, he or she is recommended to visit psychiatric facilities, and where the experts, the counselors, the psychiatrists can listen to them and give them medicines or give them therapy. And so the quality of these services which are available in the state can also affect the recovery of the patient, and hence the suicidal tendencies. Now, India has both public hospitals and private clinics which cater to this need. And generally, what is expected is that if the person is under psychiatric care, his condition will improve, and his ideation of suicide is going to decrease. So, better and higher quality of psychiatric care can reduce the suicide rates in a particular state. So, in this paper, we are taking the number of public and private beds available to be a measure of quality of psychiatric facilities in the state. The next factor which affects suicides in this paper is the sex ratio. So literature has shown that there is a gender difference in number of suicides. So the rates of suicide in most countries are higher in males than in females. So males generally commit suicide in greater number than females, and this has been shown in paper by Andres and Halisiglu in 2010, and Vijay Kumar for the case of India in 2015. And the final factor which could affect suicide is the interstate migration. So we know that in India, a lot of interstate migration takes place, mostly from low income states to high income states in search of employment. And this interstate migration, we saw also in the COVID times how difficult it was for the migrants when everything was in a lockdown, and it led to a lot of problems for them. So we see that there is a positive relationship between GSDP per capita and suicide rate, which confirms the sociological model of Durkheim. So we saw there was two models, economic model and sociological model. So our results confirm the sociological model, that as the income increases, the suicide rate also increases. We see that unemployment rate has a positive relationship with suicide. So this is consistent with the literature. As the unemployment increases in the society, as people get lesser jobs and their incomes are low, so it leads to higher suicides. And especially with mentally ill people. So because of the stigma in the society, and stigma at the workplace, mentally ill people suffer in their employment chances. The third factor which is significant in this research is the sex ratio, and it has a positive correlation with the suicide rate, which means that higher the number of females, higher the suicide rate. So this is a bit of a surprising finding, but there are a number of reasons also in literature that talk about the reasons why the suicide rates could be higher with a higher sex ratio. For example, women are more vulnerable to social stressors as compared to men. For example, women are twice as likely to develop depression than men. Research has shown, literature has shown that women are twice as likely to develop depression than men. And also eating disorders are higher in women than men and is also linked to suicide. Suicidal behavior is also linked to menstrual cycle and pregnancy. So Vijay Kumar in 2015 talked about this factor. And pregnancy can also lead to postpartum depression among women, creating risk of suicides. So pregnancy is an important stage in any woman's life, and certain factors can lead to depression and postpartum depression, sorry, and it can increase the risk of suicides. And also in India, where many women do not work and are dependent on the men for their daily bread, the lack of opportunities and the lack of freedom could be a factor of anxiety. The dependence on the male member of the family could be a factor of anxiety for the woman and could lead to depression as well.